And how could I forget about the absolute worst thing that the Wilson administration did, and that's Prohibition. And that seems like a personal attack against me and my love for whiskey. Well, you might be sitting there thinking to yourself, hey, Lieutenant Tommy, didn't Wilson veto the Volstead Act? He did, but he also approved the temporary prohibition during wartime, which is what gave the temperance movement their strength that they needed to actually get the 18th Amendment passed, which then led to the Volstead Act, which then led to all the alcohol, well, supposedly all the alcohol being confiscated in America, but that's not what happened at all, because it created a $40 million industry for doctors' offices to start prescribing whiskey, which then gets you the whole prescription thing that starts coming out of the epidemic after the whole prohibition ends. And then let's not even mention the whole start of the organized crime. Like, yeah, we had gangs prior to prohibition, but you know what they weren't? They weren't organized, but now you got Kentucky gangs reaching out to Chicago gangs, and they're coordinating so that they can sell whiskey. And it's all really just an attack on the poor, because the rich, yeah, they were still drinking. Nobody cared about them. The politicians that banned it, yeah, they were still drinking. Nobody cared about them. The middle class, they were still able to afford the whiskey and the speakeasy, but the poor folk had to go out and suffer or go bankrupt trying to get a drink. That's not fair. That's un-American to everybody. And beyond all this, it's the prohibition is the most hilariously look at just stupidity of everything, because you got all these temperance movement people that are like, we have to get rid of alcohol. We have to get rid of alcohol. They passed the amendment to get rid of alcohol. And then when it comes time to funding the means to actually make that happen, what do? Oh, we can't fund that. We can't fund police to actually go off and enforce it. And then that's not to mention that it was almost a little bit racist in and of itself, because part of the whole temperance thing was that during World War I, they're like, oh, it's only the Germans that brew. So they go after the poor fucking German brewers. They shut down 1,000 breweries in Prohibition. They shut down hundreds of distilleries in Prohibition, and 170,000 liquor stores get shut down. How many jobs are that got lost? Not to mention the tax revenue that was lost on selling all these goods and services. And beyond all of that, it's post-war time. The economy should be booming, but then by the 30s, while Prohibition's still going on, the economy tanks. And maybe part of that was just a little bit to do with the fact that we weren't taxing the liquor.